You have been saving for 6 years. Nobody knows. Not your friends, not your parents, not the people you work with. You have kept it the way you keep a card close to your chest, quietly, deliberately, until one night. It is a birthday dinner. 8 of your closest friends. Good food, a few drinks. The kind of night where the conversation goes deep and nobody is watching the clock. Someone mentions money, salaries, savings, the usual conversation people your age have when the drinks have been flowing long enough. And you say it, not to show off. You are genuinely proud. You are the first person in your family to reach this number. You have been patient and disciplined and consistent, and tonight it feels like something worth sharing, among friends, people who would understand. You say you have saved $250,000. The table reacts the way tables react. A couple of raised eyebrows. Someone says wow. Someone makes a joke. The conversation moves on. You drive home feeling good about it. You do not know yet what that one sentence is going to cost you. There are 5 reasons why, and the 5th one is the most important. And most people never figure it out in time until the years crumble. You told 8 friends. You thought that was where it stayed. 3 months later, your aunt calls. You have not spoken to her in a while. The conversation starts the way those conversations always start. How are you? How is work? How is life treating you? And then somewhere in the middle of it you feel it. She knows. Not because she says the number. She does not say the number. But the way she is speaking to you has shifted. She is being careful with you now. The way people are careful with someone they have realized has more than them. You did not tell your family, but your family knows. Someone told someone. The way these things always travel. A cousin who knows a friend. A Sunday dinner you were not at. The specific speed at which good news moves in families that have been waiting a long time for it. You did not choose to tell them, but the number left without you. And here is what nobody warns you about. The moment other people know, things happen. You do not feel it straight away, but it starts to happen. First, you are no longer just you. You are the you with the money. Second, that version of you carries expectations the old version never agreed to. A role in people's lives the old version was never asked to play. Your aunt mentions something that needs fixing. Not directly, just mentions it. The way people mention things when they are hoping someone will offer. You offer, not because anyone asked, because the role requires it now, because you are the one who can, because apparently everyone knows you are the one who can now. You start to feel it then, not the money leaving. Something subtler than that, something heavier. The person you said you were that night now has to keep showing up. At every dinner, every group trip, every family situation, every moment where money says something about who you are. Nobody is forcing you. You are just doing what people do when they have publicly become something. You are keeping the picture consistent. A Nobel Prize-winning economist named Richard Thaler found that once people publicly establish who they are financially, their brain starts spending to protect that image. Not because they are weak, just because that is what human brains do. They maintain the story they told. You spend an extra $300 a month just keeping up with the version of yourself you created that night. $300 a month, invested at 8% over 30 years, is $447,000. Not lost to a bad investment, not lost in a crash, lost to one sentence at a birthday dinner. If you would like to support the channel, subscribe now and turn on your notification bell, because you might not find this channel again, and you do not want to miss what is coming next, because if you feel like you wasted your 20s, the next video was built for you. Something feels different now. Not bad different, just different. You still check your account. You still think about your investments. But the hunger that used to sit behind all of it, the quiet fire that kept you going through the months when nothing felt like it was working, has softened. You do not notice it straight away, but it is there. You remember what it felt like when nobody knew. The balance was small. The hunger was real. That version of you did not need an audience. Now, some people perform better when people are watching. The praise arrives, and the drive increases. They use the recognition as fuel. But here is the problem. Even if the hunger stays the same, even if you keep building at the same pace, something else has already changed around you. The expectations have shifted. The floor has moved. The people in your life have updated their picture of you. And your bank account does not care whether the praise made you work harder. It only tracks what left. The moment the table reacted at the dinner, your brain received something it was not supposed to receive yet. Your brain has one job when it comes to goals: keep you hungry, keep you building. And the way it does that is by promising you a feeling, the feeling you will get when you finally make it. That feeling is the reward. But your brain cannot tell the difference between earning the reward and being given it early. When the table reacted that night, your brain got a taste of the reward. Just enough to soften the hunger, just enough to make the discipline feel slightly less urgent than it did the day before. It is the same reason people announce the business they are going to start, and then never start it. The announcement felt like progress. The brain accepted it as progress. And the part of you that was supposed to keep pushing quietly sat down. The feeling of being seen doing something and the feeling of actually doing it are not that different inside your head. And your brain will take whichever one arrives first. Build first. Let the numbers speak later. 6 months after the dinner, your partner suggests you move in together. You find a place. It is nicer than either of you lived in before. It is also more expensive than you were planning. But the conversation has a different weight now. You have money. Everyone knows. Saying it is too much feels dishonest. You sign the lease. You have just set a floor. A few weeks later, you suggest a cheaper restaurant. Your partner looks at you slightly confused. You have the money. They know you have the money. So why are you suggesting that place? You end up going to the more expensive one. That is the floor holding. The people around you remember what they have seen. The new place. The restaurant you took them to for your birthday. The vacation you mentioned. Every single one of those moments is a data point. And the people around you are keeping score without even trying. Not because they are calculating, because that is just what people do. They build a picture of who you are, and once the picture is built, they hold you to it. Think of it like a ratchet, a tool that only moves in one direction. Every visible upgrade clicks it one notch forward, and it never moves back. You try to go back occasionally. A cheaper option, a quieter night, staying in instead of going out. But the floor holds every time. And quietly over years, the gap between what you earn and what you keep starts to close. Not because you are spending on anything dramatic, because the standard crept up and never came back down. This is how people on good incomes end up with nothing saved. Not because they wasted money on one big thing, because the floor moved up every time they had more money, and it never moved back down. Your mother calls and you give her whatever she needs. That is not the problem. That was never the problem. The people you love, the ones who were there during the years it was hard, giving to them is not a mistake. It is what the money is partly for. The problem is the other ones. The ones who were not there during the 6 years you were building. The ones who did not call when you were eating cheap and investing quietly and wondering if any of it would ever work. The ones who were not in the room for any of the hard parts. They call now. Your cousin messages you. You have not heard from him in 2 years. He has a business idea. He just needs someone who believes in him. He knows you are doing well. He says it like that. He knows you are doing well. An old friend reaches out, not to catch up, to talk about an opportunity that happens to need investment from the right person. Someone you barely know, through someone you do know, mentions your name in a conversation you were not part of. Because the number has been traveling, and numbers have a way of attracting people who were never interested in anything else about you. None of them were there when you were building, but they are all here now. And here is what makes this the hardest part. You cannot always tell the difference between the person who genuinely needs you and the person who needs what you have. Between the relationship that was always real and the one that only became real when the number arrived. That confusion is expensive. You want to help. That instinct is not wrong. But the request list grows in ways you did not see coming, and every time you say yes, the expectation recalibrates. The next ask arrives a little sooner, a little larger, a little more certain that you will say yes again. Within 18 months, you have quietly given away $40,000. Some of it you wanted to give. Some of it you gave because the relationship felt real in the moment. Some of it you gave because saying no to someone who says they believe in you is one of the hardest things to do. $40,000 invested at 8% for 20 years is worth $186,000. Not gone because they are bad people. Gone because the number was visible to people who were never supposed to see it. You are now a few years on from that birthday dinner. Your account has barely moved despite a steady income and the same habits that built it in the first place. Nobody robbed you. Nobody did anything obviously wrong. But the money is somewhere else. In floors you set. In restaurants you never said no to. In people who arrived after the number did. Now imagine a different version of you. Same income, same job, same life. But you never said the number out loud. Your friends still think you are doing okay. Your family still think you are sensible. The outer circle never got close enough to know anything. You still help the people you love. You still enjoy your life. But nothing is required of you that you did not choose. You go to a nice restaurant sometimes, but because you want to, not because the floor requires it. You help family sometimes, but on your terms, at amounts you decided, not at amounts the expectation decided for you. You drive a decent car, not because it matches a standard people have assigned to you, because it is the car you actually wanted. Everything is the same, but it feels completely different, because the choices are yours. One day an opportunity arrives, something that requires you to take a risk, something that would mean stepping back for a while. The version of you who shared the number cannot take it. You have built a life around a standard. People around you have adjusted to that standard. If the income changes, even temporarily, the standard wobbles. And when the standard wobbles, people notice. So you stay. Not because you want to, because the number made the choice for you before the opportunity even arrived. The version of you who stayed quiet looks at the account. Nobody is counting on it. Nobody even knows it is there. You make the decision in private. You say yes. That is what financial silence gives you. Not a smaller life. Not austerity. Just the ability to make your own decisions. On your own terms. Without asking for permission from a life you built for other people to see. It did not start with a bad decision. It started with a proud moment at a birthday dinner. One sentence. One number. One genuine feeling of wanting to share something you had worked hard to build. And everything that followed was not punishment. It was not betrayal. It was just the natural consequence of letting people see what was never meant to be seen. It works best in the dark. It builds power in silence. And the moment it surfaces, it becomes something other people respond to instead of something you control. Run silent. Run deep. The ultimate sign of wealth is not what you buy. It is what you no longer need to prove. Subscribe now and turn on your notification bell because you might not find this channel again, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. See you in the next one.